Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Butterfly Princess Show Book Club. This is the final episode of 2024. Can't believe it, but it's the end of the year already. So this month, I'm going to be discussing the book, The Pearl Sister by Lucinda Riley. Now, this book is the fourth book in the Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley. In this series of books, there is a total of 8 books. The eighth one was written by her son Harry Whisker because she unfortunately died before the book be completed. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar or haven't read any of the Seven Sisters books before, I'd like to start by giving you an outline of the story and then telling you about the Pearl Sister. So, the main outline of the series is there are 6 adopted sisters who are each adopted by a man called Parsons. And they are brought up on this magical like fairy tale castle that they call Atlantis, and they're brought up by a lady called Marina, who they call Mar. Now, these sisters are all adopted by this man Parsons, and he's adopted them from all 4 corners of the world. Now, the story goes in everything that Parsons has died, and he's left each of the girls a clue to their original heritage, and it's up to them if they want to go on a journey to discover their true heritage and discover where their biological families and where they came from. Each sister is named after a star cluster from the Seven Sisters of the Pleiades. So the Seven Sisters were the children of Atlas and Pleiades. So we have the Seven Sisters. We have Maya, who's the first sister. Alcyone, who in the series is known as Ali. Solan, Asterope in the series is known as Star. And then we have Solano in the series, she's known as Cece. And then we have Tiger Tay in the book known as Tiggy, and Electra, the sixth sister. Now, these are the 6 sisters, so 6 sisters, yeah. But as we know, there is 7 sisters, Meripy. Now, Meripy is what known as the missing sister. She was never brought home by Parsons, so that's the story of the whole series in a nutshell. Now, this book, the Pearl Sister, like I said in the beginning, this is the 4th book in the Seven Sisters series, and this is the story of Cece. Now, if you've read any of the other books, like the books 1, 2, and 3, you will know that Cece is the predominant figure in Star's relationship. Her and Star are very close, and Cece sort of takes on the domineering figure in the relationship of them 2 sisters. She doesn't usually speaks a lot for Star. but and the other sisters are quite concerned because they think that they're too close and it's not healthy for them. But when you read this Pearl sister, the story of the Cece's story, you realise that she is quite a lonely figure herself. She's quite reserved. She won't let anybody come too close to her. And though she struggles with reading and writing because she is dyslexic, she suffers from dyslexia, and her clue, because when before Parsolis died, he writes each of the 6 girls a letter and with the clues to their true inheritance. So in Cece's letter, he tells Cece to follow to find out about a woman named Kitty Mercer, who was born in Edinburgh, but she moved and lived in Bream, Western Australia, in the early 1900s, and we learn a lot about Kitty. We learn that she was the eldest sister and she looked after her younger sisters, but she discovered that her father had got a girl pregnant, and then she was her father was a minister in the local Scottish town where they lived, and in order to get rid of her, his father sent her on as a companion to Australia to a lady called Mrs. McCumber, who was visiting her relatives in Australia. And here was where she meets the Mercer family, the father and the mother, and they have 2 twin boys called Drummond and Andrew. Now, Drummond and Kitty are very much drawn to each other, but Kitty ends up marrying Andrew, having a child, and though I don't want to give too much away because it's a really nice story, and it's all about about Kitty, like she takes on the pearling business due to tragedy and sacrificing her one true love and all that. And that's the story of Kitty in a nutshell. And and Cece's story is that when she arrives, well, she firstly doesn't start off her journey in Australia. She starts off her journey in Thailand on Krabi Beach in Thailand, where she meets this mysterious guy who, because he's got a long hair and a long beard, she first refers to him as werewolf, but then she learns that his name is Ace, and they become quite close and have a bit of a relationship. But then she discovers a secret about Ace's past, and then she goes on to Australia to this dream, and then she discovers that she has family living in Australia, and she meets this Aboriginal girl called Chrissy, who she develops a strong friendship and a strong bond with. And and another part of Chris's story is Cece's story, that in the parts where it tells Cece's story, where she's discovering how she could be connected to this Kitty Mercer, but it also discovered Lucinda Riley also discusses a lot about Aboriginal art and Aboriginal culture and how the Seven Sisters the Seven Sisters Scar cluster links in with Aboriginal culture and beliefs and all that. And I've read all I've read I'm halfway through the series now, so I'm just about to start the Moon Sister, which hopefully I will be discussing that in a future episode of the book club in a future episode. But I really enjoyed this book, The Pearl Sister. It's of all the 4 books I've currently read in this series, this has got to be the the one that I like best, my favourite of all the books. That might change it when I read the other 4 books in the series, but up to this point, as we're speaking now, this has got to be my best book in the series. I usually like both sides of the stories, because in the Seven Sisters, what Lucinda Riley does is that she goes back and forth. So you go, but you start off in like 2007, 2008, but this is where she starts but one of the sisters' stories off. But then she goes back in time. In this case, we start off in 1906 in Edinburgh, where she starts off with telling the story of Kitty. And I really liked Kitty's story. I really liked learning about her and, her story, how she took on, a man's world and a man's business and made a success of it in order for her son who had lost his father very young. And, Lucinda always says in her introduction to all the books in this series is that she says that all 7 sisters of the Pleiades were sort of strong female figures, and she always says that there's a saying that these 7 sisters were the 7 seeds that of the earth, really. And she always links the stories in with these powerful female figures, and how they always said that all the sisters start, not knowing where to go because they're completely lost. But by the end of the story, they've discovered who they really are through learning about a person, in this case Kitty, about how strong she was before her, and what they can achieve through learning through what their ancestors achieved. So yeah, all in all, I would really recommend the 7 Sisters series by Lucinda Riley. Like I said in the beginning, there are 8 books in the series, and it's a really fascinating and lovely series to read. So I would recommend it to all people, really. That concludes this month's book review, Butterfly Princess Show Book Club episode. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode, and thank you for joining me. Next time, I will be discussing another book, but I won't be revealing the name of that book until a week before. So the next episode of the Butterfly Princess Book Club will be on Sunday the 26th of January. I know this goes out on this will be going out on Tuesday, but obviously with how Christmas fell, it came with the last Sunday falling in between Christmas and New Year. So this is why it's being put out now on the last Tuesday of the year, really. But then it will follow the regular pattern again of the last Sunday of every month. So the next episode of the Butterfly Princess Show Book Club will be on Sunday the 26th of January, and I'll be revealing the name of the book that I will be discussing in the next episode on the 19th of January. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It will be revealed on the Butterfly Princess Show Facebook and Instagram pages. And don't forget, you can keep up to date with all episodes of the Butterfly Princess Show Book Club, the history side of everything, the book clubs, the travel shows, the Butterfly Princess Show Bistro of Worldly Cuisine. They will be starting up again in the next few weeks, as I've just had a bit of a break between Christmas and New Year, but it'll be all starting up again in the new year. So keep your eyes peeled and your ears open for any updates, and you can follow the Butterfly Princess Show on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I hope I will be able to see you on one of them platforms very soon. But until then, have a lovely rest of your day and lovely rest of your festive period. And I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.